Hello Dub Nation, it's always a thrill to connect with you, especially as we're about to reveal the latest news that could shape the fate of our beloved Golden State Warriors. But before we dive into this whirlwind of information, let me make a friendly request. Show us some love by clicking the like button to strengthen our bond, and hey, if you are not subscribed yet, join our channel for a thrilling and emotional journey. Don't forget to turn on notifications to stay ahead of the game.
As Jonathan Kuminga's free agency drags on, NBA teams are moving on. Time is running out. When NBA free agency opened in 2025, there was no shortage of buzz around restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. Teams were intrigued, rightfully so, by his athleticism, untapped potential, and flashes of brilliance with the Golden State Warriors. But now, as we approach the final stretch of July, Kuminga remains unsigned. And more concerning? The noise around his name has gone almost completely silent. Across the league, rosters are filling up. Teams that were initially seen as strong suitors have made moves elsewhere, perhaps signaling that their interest in Kuminga has cooled, or worse, that they've already filled the role they once envisioned for him. Two teams stood out early, the Washington Wizards and the Miami Heat. But since then, the Wizards traded for Cam Whitmore, and the Heat brought in Norman Powell. Neither move is an exact replacement for Kuminga, but both fill a similar archetype. Like Kuminga, Whitmore is a high-upside former first-round pick, athletic, explosive, and still figuring things out. Powell, on the other hand, offers experience and scoring punch, traits Miami was looking for to bolster their core alongside Wiggins, Harrow, and Adebayo. Meanwhile, other teams that were quietly monitoring the situation are also moving on. The Suns recently jumped into the picture, but after adding Draymond Green, a young high-volume scorer with his own flaws, they may no longer have the cap space or the urgency to pursue Kuminga seriously. The Bulls and Kings have also surfaced in rumors, but neither has made a compelling move, with Sacramento reportedly offering a deal that bordered on insulting. The hard truth? Most of the teams that might have been interested in Kuminga have already filled that void. They've added players who, while maybe not as promising long-term, satisfy their immediate roster needs. At this point, while Kuminga's talent is still admired, the motivation to present a strong offer to Golden State just isn't there anymore. And that leads us to the most likely scenario: Jonathan Kuminga returning to the Warriors for a fifth season in the Bay. Unless something changes dramatically, and soon, it looks like the market has spoken. That potential return to Golden State is more than just a fallback. It's becoming the only viable option left on the table. From the Warriors' perspective, this stalemate may actually work in their favor. They've made it clear they value Kuminga's upside and view him as a core piece of their future, especially with Klay Thompson now in Dallas and Draymond Green entering the twilight of his career. The front office seems committed to a retool-on-the-fly approach, and Kuminga, still just 22 years old, fits that vision perfectly. Still, this free agency silence raises an uncomfortable question. How do league executives really view Kuminga? Publicly, teams have praised his raw ability, defensive versatility, and flashes of scoring talent. But behind the scenes, there's a growing belief that some franchises see him as a high-risk project rather than a surefire investment. Concerns about his decision-making, consistency, and readiness to contribute on a playoff-caliber team may have tempered enthusiasm. And let's not forget the money. As a restricted free agent, any offer sheet would need to be significant enough to both tempt Kuminga and discourage the Warriors from matching it. Most teams simply aren't willing to tie up cap space for a player they aren't 100% sold on, especially this late in the offseason. The media response has been mixed. Some analysts see Kuminga's stagnant market as a reflection of the league's increasingly conservative spending habits, especially on young, unproven talent. Others argue it's a case of teams undervaluing a player who's never had a consistent opportunity to showcase his full skill set in a crowded Golden State rotation. Meanwhile, Warriors fans are watching closely, split between frustration and cautious optimism. Many hoped Kuminga would command a strong market and return with renewed confidence, or net the team a valuable sign-and-trade asset. Others are relieved that the market hasn't driven him out of the Bay, seeing this as a rare win in a chaotic offseason. If a deal is reached soon, expect it to be a shorter-term prove-it contract, likely a 2- or 3-year agreement with performance-based incentives. That would give Kuminga a chance to take on a bigger role in Golden State's evolving system, while keeping long-term flexibility for both sides. But the longer this drags out, the more likely it is that Golden State simply extends the qualifying offer, keeping him on a 1-year deal and delaying a long-term decision until next summer. For now, the waiting game continues. And with each passing day, Jonathan Kuminga's free agency becomes less about what teams are willing to offer, and more about what kind of player he's ready to become. Former Warriors sharpshooter facing harsh reality, overseas may be his only option. It's a tough time for Damion Lee. Once a key role player and NBA champion with the Golden State Warriors, Lee now finds himself in uncertain territory, without a team, without a contract, and with his NBA future hanging by a thread. After 2 injury-plagued seasons in Phoenix, the veteran guard may be forced to look overseas to keep his basketball dream alive. Lee, the brother-in-law of Steph Curry and a familiar face in the Bay Area, played over 200 regular season games for Golden State. Fans still remember his steady presence during the Warriors' 2021-22 title run, where he averaged 20 minutes per game and delivered reliable shooting and energy off the bench. After leaving the Warriors in 2022, Lee signed a 2-year, $5.4 million deal with the Phoenix Suns. And for a moment, it looked like a perfect fit. On opening night, he poured in 11 points in the fourth quarter, including a game winner, to lift Phoenix over the Dallas Mavericks in dramatic fashion. But that high point feels like a lifetime ago. His first season in Phoenix was solid, 8.2 points per game in 20 minutes, and an impressive 44.5% from beyond the arc. It looked like Lee had carved out a meaningful role with a contender. Unfortunately, the following year brought a cruel twist of fate. During 2023 training camp, Lee suffered a torn meniscus, a devastating injury that sidelined him for the entire season. The Suns still showed faith, bringing him back on a 1-year minimum deal. But his comeback was rocky. Lee managed to play just 25 games in 2024-25, averaging only 3.3 points in under 6 minutes per game, and struggling with his shooting touch. Now, at age 32, he finds himself without a team. The Suns are moving in a new direction, making bold roster changes, including trading for former Warrior Kevin Durant and bringing in 3-time All-Star Bradley Beal. Despite 2 roster spots still open, Phoenix appears focused on adding a point guard, not revisiting the idea of another year with Lee. Golden State, too, has open spots, but there's been no serious buzz about a reunion. If anything, the Warriors seem more inclined to pair Steph Curry with his younger brother, Seth, or pursue someone like DeAnthony Melton in free agency. So where does that leave Damion Lee? The truth is hard to ignore. NBA opportunities are drying up fast. Teams are looking for younger legs, more upside, or players with a clean injury history. And while Lee still has the heart, the experience, and the championship pedigree, it may not be enough right now. That doesn't mean it's over. Lee might have to take a step back to move forward, whether that means a stint in the G League to prove he's still got it, or a season overseas to show he can stay healthy and contribute at a high level. He's overcome long odds before, going undrafted, earning his way into a rotation, and becoming a respected veteran. This chapter might be tough, but it's not the end of his story. All it takes is one opportunity. One coach, one team, one situation that gives Damion Lee the chance to remind the basketball world what he can do. And if anyone knows how to fight through adversity, it's him. For Lee, the road ahead is uncertain, but not unfamiliar. His entire basketball journey has been about perseverance. From going undrafted in 2016, bouncing between G League stints, and earning a roster spot with the Warriors, he's never had anything handed to him. Every minute he's played in the NBA has been earned through grit, hustle, and unwavering belief. But the league is changing, and fast. With front offices increasingly focused on youth, athleticism, and cost efficiency, veterans like Lee, especially those coming off major injuries, are often pushed to the margins. The 2025 free agent market has been brutal for players in his position. Younger, unproven talent is being prioritized, while experienced role players are left waiting for calls that may never come. And yet, around the league, there's still a level of respect for what Damion brings, a team-first mentality, locker room leadership, and a proven ability to knock down shots under pressure. Coaches know the value of a player like Lee, someone who's not only battle-tested, but who understands his role and stays ready when his number is called. Some insiders believe that a training camp invite could still materialize, possibly with a rebuilding team seeking veteran presence, or a playoff hopeful needing insurance off the bench. But for now, the momentum isn't there. The situation is sparking quiet conversations across NBA circles, and even among fans online, about the increasing fragility of veteran careers. One day you're a key rotation piece on a title team, the next, you're on the outside looking in. The margins have never been tighter. There's also speculation that international teams are already circling. European and Asian leagues are known to seek out former NBA talent, especially guards with Lee's shooting credentials. Countries like Spain, Turkey, and Australia offer competitive salaries, elite competition, and exposure. For Lee, a short stint abroad could serve as both a professional reset and a launchpad back to the NBA. It wouldn't be the first time a player went overseas to reprove himself. Joe Ingles, P.J. Tucker, and even Mike James found new life in international leagues before making impactful returns. For Lee, it could be a similar path: take control of his narrative, build momentum in a new environment, and show NBA teams that he still belongs. Social media has also played a role in keeping his name alive. Warriors fans, in particular, continue to express love and appreciation for what he gave to the franchise. Some are even calling for Golden State to bring him back as a veteran mentor on a young bench. While that seems unlikely given current roster priorities, the outpouring speaks volumes about the lasting impression Lee has made. He's more than just Steph Curry's brother-in-law. He's a fighter, a pro, a champion. And while this chapter might be one of the hardest in his career, it's also an opportunity to rise again, to adapt, and to write a comeback story worthy of the journey he's already taken. Because if history tells us anything, it's that Damion Lee has never been defined by setbacks, only by how he responds to them. After the Damian Lillard homecoming, the Warriors could still deliver their own emotional reunion. What a moment it was. Damian Lillard's stunning return to the Portland Trail Blazers on Thursday instantly became one of the feel-good stories of the NBA offseason. The 9-time All-Star, coming off a devastating Achilles injury, turned down interest from the Golden State Warriors and other contenders to sign a 3-year, $42 million deal with his former team, a decision that touched fans across the league. While nothing may top Lillard's emotional homecoming, the Warriors still have a chance to create a heartwarming reunion of their own, one that could stir fans in the Bay Area and beyond. Once Golden State resolves the future of restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, there's room for a few meaningful moves. DeAnthony Melton is a name already surfacing, possibly returning to the team after a short stint in Brooklyn. Chris Boucher, who appeared briefly for the Warriors during the 2017-18 season, has also been linked to the franchise. But there's one potential reunion that feels truly special, one that could turn heads around the league, tug at heartstrings, and make for one of the most beloved signings of the summer. The Warriors could still bring in Seth Curry. Yes, that's Seth Curry, the sharpshooting younger brother of Steph, and a player whose connection to the Warriors runs deeper than most remember. In recent weeks, Seth's name has picked up serious traction in Golden State circles. In an interview with Monty Poole of NBC Sports Bay Area, he didn't shy away from the possibility of joining the Warriors. "Steph would love to have me there playing with them," Seth said. "The fans always show me a lot of love. The family would love it too. I've always supported the Warriors and their system, and I love how they play. You just never know what could happen." Imagine the Curry brothers finally sharing an NBA court together, not just as All-Star Weekend teammates or preseason cameos, but as part of a real competitive roster aiming for one last championship push. It's the kind of story that writes itself: two brothers, two elite shooters, finally united in the same backcourt under the same jersey. But this isn't just about emotion. It also makes basketball sense. Golden State is in need of more floor spacing, especially with Klay Thompson gone. And while Seth's role in the league has shifted over the past 2 seasons, his shooting has remained elite. The 34-year-old shot a blistering 45.6% from 3 with the Charlotte Hornets last season, tops in the league. That kind of shooting gravity could make him a valuable weapon off the bench in Steve Kerr's movement-heavy offense. And let's not forget, while Seth never suited up in an NBA game for Golden State, he did play 38 games with their G League affiliate, the Santa Cruz Warriors, back in 2013-14. In a way, this would be more than a family reunion. It would be a full-circle moment in his career. Whether the Warriors bring back Kuminga, make a trade, or both, they'll still have roster spots to fill. And few options out there check as many boxes as Seth Curry: basketball fit, locker room presence, fan excitement, and the rare chance to give Steph and Seth the moment fans have dreamed about for years. The Warriors may not be able to match the magnitude of Lillard's return to Portland, but they might just create a special chapter of their own. Bringing Seth to the Bay wouldn't just be a heartwarming gesture, it could be a savvy move for a team looking to balance sentiment with strategy. The Warriors are at a crossroads. With the departure of Klay Thompson, the roster is undergoing a quiet transformation. They're younger, more fluid, and in many ways, searching for a new identity. While stars like Steph Curry and Draymond Green remain, the team's supporting cast is evolving, and so is its approach. Adding a player like Seth would help bridge that transition. He's a veteran who knows how to play without the ball, thrives in motion-heavy offenses, and won't need time to adjust to playing alongside his brother. That chemistry, rooted in a lifetime of backyard battles and family shoot-arounds, could translate beautifully on the NBA stage. Off the court, the impact would be immediate. The marketing potential of the Curry brothers, finally playing together, would ignite national attention. Jersey sales, ticket demand, and fan engagement would surge. It's a rare chance to combine basketball value with a once-in-a-generation storyline. Around the league, the reaction has already begun to simmer. Analysts and insiders have pointed out how seamlessly Seth's skill set would fit in Golden State's system, especially with the team's current lack of shooting depth. Fans across social media are calling for it, with posts and mock lineups already imagining the brothers sharing the backcourt under Chase Center's bright lights. There's also the emotional weight to consider. As Steph continues to age, still elite, but undeniably entering the final chapters of his storied career, playing alongside his brother could be one of the last true bucket list moments for the Curry family. For Del and Sonia Curry, two parents who've watched their sons blaze individual paths, seeing them wear the same NBA jersey would be a full-circle reward for years of sacrifice and support. And let's not forget Seth's own journey. Often overshadowed by his older brother's greatness, Seth has carved out a legitimate, respected NBA career of his own. He's played for 9 teams, adapted to countless systems, and proven time and again that his shooting is among the best in the league. A stop in Golden State wouldn't just be a reunion, it could be a legacy-defining moment for Seth, finally playing on a team built around his family's name. At this point in free agency, the timing is right. The Warriors still have roster spots, and Seth remains unsigned. While other teams may be hesitant to commit to a 34-year-old guard, Golden State has every reason, emotional, strategic, and cultural, to take the leap. It's not just about nostalgia. It's about writing a story that fans, teammates, and even the league itself would never forget. A Curry-to-Curry assist? A playoff game where both brothers light it up from deep? A championship run that finally includes the two of them side by side? That's not just a nice thought, it's a chapter waiting to be written. Warriors fans can finally breathe easy after clarity on Quinton Post's Summer League absence. Now it all makes sense. Unfair to expect Joel Embiid to play a full season again, first things first. The NBA Summer League got off to a frustrating start for many Golden State Warriors fans, and not because of the games themselves. Before the first tip-off, fans were already buzzing with disappointment over the surprising absence of Quinton Post from the California Classic and Las Vegas rosters. For a young big man coming off a promising rookie season, it seemed odd. After all, both Brandon Podziemski and Tracy Jackson-Davis played in last year's Summer League despite having even stronger debut seasons. Add to that the fact that several notable second- and third-year players are suiting up this summer, and the mystery only deepened. But now we have answers. According to a report by Danny Merman of the San Francisco Standard, there's no drama behind Post's absence, just bad luck. The 25-year-old center suffered an ankle injury during the second half of last season, which has kept him sidelined. Rather than competing in Summer League, Post has been rehabbing at the Warriors facility, and even found time to win a chess tournament, where he defeated none other than DeAnthony Melton, his former, and possibly future teammate. While some fans may still be disappointed not to see Post dominating on the Summer League court, knowing the real reason behind his absence brings much-needed perspective. Instead of frustration, there's now cautious optimism, especially considering how Post emerged as a legitimate rotational player for Steve Kerr late last season. He quietly became the stretch big the Warriors have long needed, finishing the year shooting an impressive 40.8% from deep, the highest mark on the team. His floor spacing and high basketball IQ made a noticeable impact, earning him a solid role heading into year 2. If Golden State doesn't make a move for a veteran center like Al Horford in free agency, Post could very well be competing for a starting spot. Regardless of where he lands in the rotation, his continued development will be crucial. The Warriors will be counting on him to bring more physicality in the paint while continuing to stretch the floor with his elite shooting. In the meantime, Warriors fans have shifted their focus to intriguing young prospects like Alex Tui and Will Richard, second-round picks at No. 52 and 56, as well as Aussie guard Taron Armstrong, who's on a two-way deal and has shown flashes of promise despite limited minutes. The buzz around Quinton Post may be on pause for now, but make no mistake, once healthy, he'll be one of the most fascinating players to watch in the Warriors' rotation next season. With Post on the sidelines, fans and analysts alike have been left speculating about how his absence might affect Golden State's rotation, and more importantly, what his full potential could look like once he's back to full strength. Several team insiders have hinted that the Warriors are optimistic about his recovery and view him as a key piece in their evolving frontcourt, especially as the franchise looks to balance youth development with championship aspirations. Internally, the coaching staff has praised Post's work ethic during rehab. According to sources close to the team, he's been a daily presence at the Chase Center training facility, not only participating in off-court workouts but also engaging in film sessions and tactical planning with assistant coaches. That level of engagement has impressed many inside the organization, reinforcing the belief that Post isn't just a one-season wonder but someone with a mindset and skill set to become a long-term contributor. The absence of Post also shifts more attention onto the Warriors' young Summer League core. Players like Will Richard, a two-way wing known for his defensive versatility, and Alex Tui, a forward with strong international experience from Australia, have taken full advantage of the opportunity to shine. Tui, in particular, has turned heads with his poise and maturity, drawing early comparisons to Joe Ingles for his smart decision-making and reliable outside shot. Meanwhile, the team continues to evaluate the need for veteran reinforcements. Rumors surrounding Al Horford have gained traction in recent days, and while nothing is official yet, signing a seasoned big man could allow Steve Kerr to bring Post along more gradually, protecting his ankle while still utilizing his offensive skill set in strategic minutes. The fans' initial confusion over Post's Summer League absence has now evolved into cautious optimism, and even excitement. Social media has been buzzing with highlights from Post's rookie season, with fans revisiting his clutch threes, smooth pick-and-pop game, and surprising ability to defend in space. Some are already penciling him in as a future starter, especially given the uncertainty surrounding Kevin Looney's role and the team's ongoing cap space challenges. In short, Quinton Post's absence may have sparked concern at first, but now, it's simply building anticipation. Once he returns, fully healthy and battle-tested, Post could be one of the most important X-factors in Golden State's quest to remain competitive in a stacked Western Conference. And if his late-season performance was any indication, the Warriors may have quietly found a gem, one who's ready to make serious noise in year 2.